Hello there. So I wanted to do a kind of a show off and a review of this. This is my first ever Glock. This is the Glock 43, which of course is chambered in 9mm. Let's see here. The gun is unloaded. So, picked this up just recently. I bought it off of Gunbroker actually, and I only paid $300 for this, which kind of surprised me. And it's brand new. I bought it brand new. It's never been fired, although presumably it was fired at the factory at one point. See that nice slim line there. Now, why the Glock 43? Well, one, the price was right, and two, concealability. You can easily conceal this. This does have the Pierce +1 grip extension on it, and that was necessary for me as I need that extra space for my pinky. I like the size of it. At first I wasn't particularly happy with it, but upon handling it and adding the grip extension, I've come to appreciate it. Appreciate its size. And the Glock 19 was just too big for me. I mean, it fit in my hand fine, but I didn't want to have to run around with that thing on me. I have the other extended grip here. It has the extended pinky mag plate on it, but it's not a +1, as you can see, which doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, if you're going to have that, why not make it a +1? I only bought one Pierce grip extension. Didn't really need more than that. It's got the Glock loader, which is nice. I did have to buy this off of eBay so that I could remove the plate, the mag plate, but this was fairly cheap, and so yeah, it made the job easier. And if I ever want or need to do it again, I've got this. So it's a nice thing. I do have the Glock box, and it came with all the paperwork and everything else. As I'm sure you've noticed by now, there is an attachment here. This is a Laser Max light. Got this off of eBay. I would suggest shopping around because you can get these for as low as $50. This is the Laser Max centerfire weapon light, specifically for the Glock 42 and 43. Let's see, what is the... yes, here's the number down here if you want to get one for yourself. And you can find them all over the place. One of the nice things about this is that it comes with two different settings. Now let me... I know which setting it's on right now. Let me reset it real quick. Okay, so here's the flashlight setting. Okay, it's just your regular flashlight. Then you hold down the button for 3 seconds and it has a strobing effect, which is, and when you turn it on, whatever you have it set for last is what it will come up to. So there's no default except the one that you set, which is nice. So the strobing effect is meant to disorient the target, which is interesting. But why this one? Why not a laser sight? Well, I didn't really need a laser sight, and a flashlight, in my mind, is more useful. That, and honestly, I like the look of this more on the gun. Now you may say, well, about functionality, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I know. But I didn't need a laser. Didn't really want a laser. I just wanted a flashlight. And this flashlight looked cool. Now, let's talk about significance of this in film and television. There haven't been too many of these featured in film or television. There was one in a character carried one in a single episode of NCIS New Orleans. And then, most notably, Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson, carried two of these actually in the Black Widow movie from 2021. So if you're looking for movies with these in them, or TV shows, you're kind of SOL at this point. They're few and far between. I'm just trying to hold this thing so you can get a look at it. What influenced my decision making in part to get this this flashlight attachment was actually RoboCop and movies like it. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and in the 80s and 90s, Glocks were still fairly new. They were kind of futuristic. You know, they were polymer. They looked unique. When you had a lot of guns of the past, you know, had a lot of equipment, had a lot of stuff on the outside. They were entirely metal. Here suddenly you had this polymer wonder that looks kind of futuristic. To me, it looks like something out of RoboCop, and they actually used Glocks in RoboCop 3. And in that movie they had laser sight attachments. But there were other movies that featured Glocks or featured guns, like Predator 2 was set in the not too distant future, and on all of their guns they had lasers. And so I wanted my gun, if I was going to have any kind of an attachment, I wanted it to evoke that look and to look kind of futuristic. Now here are some pictures of the Glocks from RoboCop 3. Also, there's a gun. It's not a Glock. It's a Sig Sauer, I think, P226. And that's from RoboCop the series. And then I'll show you guys some of the guns from Predator 2. So yeah, so you can see that look has always appealed to me, and you know, this gun does not originally come with a rail. I believe there's an attachment that you can buy that gives you a rail, but I kind of wanted something interesting, something different. Everybody goes for generally the same type of laser. They don't generally go for just the weapon light like this. So I wanted to accessorize it and to kind of personalize it and make it mine and make it appeal to me as a not only a functional weapon, but also as something something that I can enjoy aesthetically as well. The only problem is that because this weapon light is not popular and not common, it's harder to find holsters that will fit. So yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at there. So yeah, I guess that's my overview of my first Glock, and it's actually featured. If you'll notice, that's my logo. This actual gun is featured in my logo, so yeah, and I'm happy with it. The only thing, in terms of Glocks, the only thing I don't like is the slide lock. I know it's primarily used as a lock, but I like to use it as a release as well. And I know they engineer it not to really work that way, but that's what I prefer to use it as. Because I don't like fumbling with having to do two hands. You know, I want to just manipulate it with just one hand. Slap the mag in there, and then boom. You got a round in the chamber and you're ready to go. That's what I like, and that's why guns of the past always had, it was a slide lock and release. So anyway, that's my Glock 43 in 9mm. I try to have all my guns in the same caliber just because it's cheaper and easier, and I'm not a big fan of larger calibers. I've shot larger calibers. I had a 41 Smith & Wesson Magnum. That thing kicked like a mule. It had about an 8-inch fireball that came out of the end of it, and while that might look cool on screen, and it might be kind of fun to plink around with at targets, it's not something that you really want to be utilizing for your home defense or self-defense. At least not me. Anyway, yeah, I'm happy with this. So, thank you for watching, everyone, and have a good one.